What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. I'm gonna give you guys a room tour of my room. I've pretty much been collecting antlers since I was 14 and I've been hunting since I was 12. I really haven't been hunting much before that, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick room tour and you guys can check it out. Well, this is where it all started. This is my very first mule deer at the age of 12. Shot him back in 2016. I wanted it shoulder mounted, not sure why. He probably doesn't deserve to be shoulder mounted, but I have him. So that's my first ever buck. This is my second ever buck, a little 4-point. This is actually my smallest mule deer. He does have kind of a goofy growth right there, which is kind of cool. And he also snapped right there when I shot him and he hit the ground. So kind of a cool story behind that, but yeah, that was my second buck. That right there is my third buck. Muzzleloader buck, not a very big buck, just a small 4x3. He's actually broke up on that G2. Would be a 4x4. Let's see here. This is my fourth buck and my best rifle buck. I don't hunt with a rifle much anymore. And that is my fourth buck. He's kind of cool. Shot him in the high country. That was my first high country deer. This beast is my fifth buck. This mule deer, not that whitetail in the background. This thing's quite the buck. This is my biggest buck still to this date. Just such an awesome buck. Let me see if you can see. I don't know if you can see that, but just a beast. So really like that buck. That's still my biggest deer. It was also my first buck with a bow. Pretty dang cool. That was awesome. Never forget that day. Let's see here. After that buck, I shot this buck in 2022. That was my second archery buck. He's goofy looking. That's probably my goofiest looking mule deer. Almost touches up there at the top. Pretty cool buck. Let's see here. Then I shot this mule deer. This is my 2023 mule deer. My only buck with more than 4 points on one side. He's got 6 on that side. Pretty cool. Really like that deer. One of my favorites for sure. Right after I shot that buck, I went to Utah. This is one of my more disappointing mule deer. I'm not disappointed that I have the deer, but I did accidentally shoot the wrong buck. Never thought I would do that in my life, but I managed to. So that was my mule deer. I'll give you a quick yardage on my bow kills, just because my first bow kill was 67 yards. This one was 60 on the dot. That one was 38, and this one was 65. So those are the yardages on my mule deer. Now I'll show you my whitetails. Alright, I only have 2 whitetail bucks, both shot out of Indiana. This is my very first whitetail buck. Cool 9-pointer. Really love that buck. That's my favorite buck. I shot him at 13 yards, sorry. I shot a doe at 9 yards. I also took a whitetail doe, so that was pretty cool. This is my second whitetail buck and my only other whitetail buck. Cool 8-point. I just thought he looked really good, so I thought he would go on a mount, but that is my smaller buck. Still an awesome buck though, cool 8, little character. I actually spot and stalked this buck. I got out of the tree stand to stalk him. I shot that buck at 84 yards. Smoked him right through the heart. That was a wild, wild day. Okay, on to antelope. This is my very first antelope, and this is also my first ever archery kill. Was that buck. I shot him at 42 yards. That was a day I will absolutely never forget, just because it was my first archery kill. Unbelievable day. And then the same year I had a rifle antelope tag in Colorado. Ended up shooting that nice buck. Really long prongs on him. Short, all 3 of these antelope are fairly short, but really good prongs on that buck. This is my 2022 archery pronghorn, also out of Nevada. Just Euro mounted him. Shot him at 78 yards. Smoked him. That was a fun hunt. Alright, we got my one and only bull elk hanging over the antelope right here. This is my Nevada archery bull. I was after quite a bit bigger elk, but that's just how it happens, and I was happy to get a bull. Nice 6-point, nothing special, but he's cool. Shot him at 51 yards. Now I'll show you some of my favorite finds. This is actually probably one of my all-time favorite finds. This is a California bighorn sheep. This is a deadhead that I found and was able to recover. Super, super stoked on this. This was kind of a dream find for me ever since I started antler hunting. And when I found this, I was super stoked. But super cool find. This is a small California ram, but I was stoked nonetheless. This antler, oh no, sorry, horn. This horn comes off still. They were both not on it when I found it, but super awesome. This is a young ram too. This just slips right back on. Got him mounted on this barrel right here. I thought that looked good. Alright, we got the deer sheds. Absolutely love shed hunting. This is my mule deer stack. There's close to 1,000, maybe a little over now. Absolutely love shed hunting. Such an awesome sport. Now for the elk shed stack. I don't know exactly how many I've got in there, but there is a few. You can see by the bases I got quite a few in there. Really love elk sheds. Not as much as I love big deer sheds, but elk sheds are awesome. There's my elk shed stack. I have sold a few, but that's quite a few of them. I currently am shooting a PSE Mach 1. Absolutely love this bow. 83 pounds right now. This is my weapon of choice. About 480 grain arrow. So, such a sweet setup. This is my biggest set of mule deer sheds. This is a buck we call Marty. There's a whole YouTube video I've got on him if you go back far enough. He went 216. Pretty dang sweet. Alright, I pulled out my only moose sheds. That's my first moose shed. Then I found his match, so I got kind of a nice little set right there. And then the same day I picked this bad boy up. I think he's got a beast of a burr on it. Super cool paddle, all leaf faded. Those were both picked up in Utah. They're Shiras moose. And then this is my only paddle out of Nevada, which is saying something because we don't have very many moose in Nevada. So that is awesome. Absolutely love that shed. Alright, we got my recurve. I just bought that the other day. It's a cheap one, but I might learn how to do something with it. So follow along. May end up doing something with that, may not. I know that they're a very hard challenge. Now on to this. This is kind of the centerpiece of my room. Yeah, so this is my favorite part of my room. These are a couple old finds that I've just found completely randomly. It's an old steel trap, old shovel, and an old bucket. I just figured they look kind of cool together sitting in front of the pedestal. We got a set of replicas of Marty, the set of sheds I just showed you a second ago. Looks very good. And then this buck is a deadhead that I restored. That buck went 203, Marty's 216. And then this is a set of sheds I had mounted up. Super cool buck, 3 cheaters on that side. Broke a little drop tine off right there. And then obviously the matching inline 5s up top. Super awesome buck. So I really like this piece that I've kind of just got set up here. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've got a duck mount back there and a turkey fan. And then like a couple rattlesnakes hanging around. And then, I never did mention this, but these are all off of the same buck. A redhead I got mounted and a turkey fan. But yeah, that's the majority of my room. Super stoked to see where it ends up and what else we can add in the future years. So. But yeah, if you want to follow along in future journeys, hit subscribe and you guys can see what I'm up to. See what I'm adding to the collection.